Okay, hi guys. Welcome to this connecting chat again. I'm Chang here, and today I'm very happy and honored to have invited someone very, very special to this connecting conversation. And she's none other than Jeanette. Hi, Jeanette. How are you? How are you doing?
Hi. Good afternoon. Hi, Chang. Yeah, it's so honored to be invited here, and thank you for all your kind introduction for me.
Okay, most welcome. So as usual, we're going to ask Janet a couple of questions, how she came about, and she's going to publish a book soon, which is called Read to Me. Am I right? Read to Me. Yes,
yeah,
correct.
Read to Me. Yes.
Yeah, Read to Me.
Asking to be read to.
Yeah, so Janet is someone very, very special. I met her a couple of years ago, and she's in the education industry. But what she does was very, very special. She has her own framework, I would say, own format of educating. I believe it's through her years of own experience and a lot of reading and learning. So today I'm going to ask her to share with us a little bit about herself. Janet, how do you come about learning your maybe share with us a bit about yourself first?
Okay, for me, I did a mid-career switch sometime in my 40s. Yeah, so prior to that, I was working in corporate, and then I have one child, and I was like, I'm because I got my bachelor's degree in English, so I know from the beginning that English is very important, especially in Singapore. So I kept drilling my son. I'm kind of like a tiger mom, so I drilled my son until he was like 9 years old, P3, but he ended up with a lot of psychosomatic symptoms, like always having stomach aches whenever there's a test, a spelling, and then it got too frequent until we had to consult the doctor, and the doctor said it's psychosomatic. Yeah, meaning it's from the mind, So that day when we came back, my husband kind of like gave me a ultimatum and says, hey, you want to have a son or you want to have a scholar? You can only make one choice. And I actually, you won't believe it, I actually was seriously thinking of making that choice when my husband said, you don't need to decide, I decide for you. Okay, we want to have a son, we don't want to have a scholar. And so the condition was for me to drop everything that I was doing previously, like drilling him, helicoptering him on his academics and all that. So I really have to let go. And then at first I closed one eyes, and then later I have to close both eyes because the grades really dropped after that. But in place of that, I actually became my buddy, a playmate to my child, who is the only child. So he's actually lacking of also like siblings to play with him. So I really became his best friend, to play from young. So we were playing Pokemon, Power Rangers, and so Beyblade. I knew how to spin the blade as well. So I was into everything, Tamiya cars and all. So I'm memorizing the 151 names of the first gen Pokemon. So through this playing with my child, I discover, hey, actually, I can sneak in learning, teaching in the fun as well. And you'll be surprised, actually, he picked up even faster because you can see so much joy in him when he's learning. And so he didn't even see himself as learning. He was having fun for all he knew. And then here this mommy was thinking, hey, I got this little clever trick, where I won't cause him any more of the psychosomatic symptoms. And so that started my journey of really, trying to connect with my child through play. And at the same time, I make use of that play to support him in his learning.
I see.
So it was like win. Yeah.
So it was through your discovery, through playing games with him, and you discover that, hey, actually you can make learning more fun, and that you started that journey, right? So
correct. And of course the journey didn't just start and end there. I actually because I don't have to tiger mom him or helicopter parent him anymore, I decided that I want to find something other than my career, than my work. I wanted to give back to society. So I was looking at volunteering my services at one point in time in 2005. So I look here and there, and then I discovered this program called Kids Read that is run by the National Library Board. So it's a reading program to inculcate the love of reading amongst children from low-income family. So I said, yeah, what better thing to volunteer than this thing, right? I can make use of my basic degree, for once.
Wow.
So I actually signed up under the National Library Board, and actually it's particular with the CDAC, Chinese Development Assistance Council, which is helping National Library Board to run the program, because they actually leverage on all the self-help groups to run this program as well. So I volunteered with CDAC, and I started in 2005 this volunteering for this program called Kids Read. And of course, when you are volunteer with this kind of nationwide program, they provide some kind of training for us as well. So through the training, I discovered that, wow, there's a lot of things to learn about facilitating reading and supporting young children. And it kind of like sparked my interest to really pursue more. And you won't believe it, this little spark actually brought me all the way to even go and pursue a master's degree in education.
Wow.
Wow. And along the way, I met a lot of mentors, a lot of like angels who kind of like helped me along this journey. And I really discovered that, wow, I really love it. And it all appears that I seem to have a knack of working with children.
I see.
Yeah, because when I first did the volunteer, a lot of fellow volunteers thought that I was a teacher in my day job. They said, "Are you a teacher?" I said, "How come you seems to be quite natural."
Quite natural. Okay.
Yeah, so then I discovered that maybe finally I've discovered my purpose in life and my strength. Yeah. So then somehow I say, oh, I think God has given me this gift, this strength, so that I may go on and serve the society and help those people who are really in need of it. So then that's how it sparked the entire journey, right from 2005 all the way till now. Yeah, so I've got like 18 years of working with children in this national program called Kids Read. And then after I finished my master's degree, I started to work for a program for MOE that deploys people like myself who had to undergo further training from them into preschools. So it's like kindergartens and childcare, and we work with K2 children to provide a kind of interventions. In K1, they were flat out to be weak in reading skills. So in K2, we go in, work with them every day, Mondays to Fridays. Yeah, and then by the end of the year, we are supposed to help them also change their disposition in terms of like becoming love to or like to read, from being very reluctant or averse to reading. And of course, we have got KPIs as well. So we have to help them by doing 3 assessments a year to help them level up in terms of mastering the skills of reading. Yeah.
Wow. So you went for a higher education, and with your experience, and then you went into the preschools and then to spread this thing about reading. So my question is, all these skills, experience that you've learned, can it be applied for like students for primary schools, secondary schools, or even the higher level?
Certainly, I think the basic thing in my strategy that I have kind of like honed the strategy after teaching for 18 years, and then after the experience with my son as well, I discovered that actually 3 main secret strategies which apply across all age, which is you have to engage the student. Then after the children is engaged already, or the student is engaged, then you start to enrich. Okay? But enriching, of course, it means you have to give them some challenge, right? So that it becomes richer. That's why the word enrich, add richness to it. Like you want to drink Milo, you enrich, you put in more powder, Same thing. If you want the knowledge to be enriched, you add on to the basic level that they already know. So that's enrich, and that's where the child or the student grow in terms of the knowledge in one particular topic or subject. Then after they will enrich already, then it becomes a mindset thing. You have to work on the mindset when you want to transform them, because a lot of things you cannot force the person to change, like from being not wanting to wanting to, or in fact loving it. So it must come from a mindset inside there. So the transformation must take place within the person itself. So this change in mindset has to come in through the delivery, when you are doing it, when you're facilitating, and the choice of staff, the way you respond to the student. So it kind of like slowly seep into the child's entire being, you know, so gradually they'll discover that, whoa, actually when I have the interest, I start to want to be curious or eager to find out more. And that's when he became a self-driven learner.
Wow.
And that's why I say, you know, from learning to read at first, because you don't even know how to read, right? You have to learn to read first. And then once you know how to read, the journey will become reading to learn. So because I mean, we all heard that, you know, you don't have to travel far, but from reading book, you actually is as good as traveling around the place. So reading is really very important. And now everything is dependent on the skills to read, right? Even from the internet, like if you want to just sit at home and just surf, it requires the skills to read as well.
Yeah, very good. So Jenna is, to me, after hearing her sharing, she's someone like opening up the child or the person's mind first, mindset first, before introducing what she want to teach into the child, or for them to start being self-directed. I think that if we were to apply in our schools, wow, I think that would be amazing, right? And it also reminds me of like presentation between content and delivery. So the focus is more on the delivery part before introducing the content itself, right? Can I say that? Yeah, very good. So that leads me to asking Janet, you're going to launch a book recently. I heard this book is called Read to Me. Can you share a little bit to your audience, to the people out there, what is this book about?
All right, this book actually kind of like distill all the knowledge and skills that I have acquired from all these years of working with my own child, as well as working with the children from the reading program Kids Street, as well as the 8 years that I've been working with the K2 preschoolers under this intervention program with MOE. So in essence is actually there is a framework for those parents who are really excited or eager to get their young children on the path, the reading path, to acquire the basic skills. So there are a lot of sub skills that the children have to acquire before they can read, such as, you know, learning the ABCs, letter names, and then after that the letter sounds, and then the skills like how do you string these sounds together to blend it, and it becomes reading skills. And then how do you tear them apart, that we call it segment, in order to know how to spell. And this is a very important skills, because our school is so focused on you know, the spelling list given to children every year. Yeah, and then I hear so many horror stories of the children crying, you know, and parents yelling, tearing their hair, you know, out, just trying to get the child to memorize the words for spelling.
Correct. I remember, Janet, when we were in school days, I think even now, okay, this 10 spelling words, go back and memorize, come back and be tested, right? That's the way how we are brought up. Right? Well,
exactly.
I didn't know that actually there are more things to it of picking out all those words, the tearing it. Wow, this sounds very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's still happening, you know, it's really still happening. Even with the K2 children that I'm working with, I'll tell you, I can really have good laughs sometimes, you know, when the kids share with me stories happening at home, because they have older siblings who are in primary 2, primary 3. And then, you know, once there was this boy who tell me, you know, yeah, last night, you know, my mother, you know, was really scolding my brother so badly. My brother cried the whole night, you know. He was learning his spelling until 10 o'clock. My mommy said she cannot sleep because he still doesn't know. I was like, oh my gosh, poor boy, you know. Yeah, so this then he come and tell me, you see, because he never attend this fair, so he doesn't know how to read. So I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, this MOE's program that brought us into the preschools to give them a head start, at least,
Yeah.
for those who who maybe they don't have the privilege of being sent to outside, private school, or having private tuitions to actually give them the basic reading skills tuition. These are the children that really need this program.
Yes.
And we give them the basic foundation, so that also at the same time lessen the load of the primary school teachers. Imagine a whole batch of primary one go in, more than 50% need a learning support program. Alamak, then headache already, right? The primary school teachers. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's basically helping themselves as well. The ministry have this in the mindset. So it's actually good for them to have this kind of program in the kindergarten, and it's only for K2, by the way, just to prepare them before they start K1. Before they start P1, sorry. Yeah.
Wow, that's a very good move. So yeah, Janet,
In Singapore.
correct. Yeah, a lot of things we didn't know. We thought that okay, spelling, go back, learn, memorize, tomorrow get tested. That was the impression that I still have in mind right now. I didn't know that actually there's some other creative ways in how to read or how to pick it up.
Yeah,
yeah. So
not just
Janet,
purely on your memory, it's quite
precisely,
taxing. You have
quite
to
taxing.
memorize.
Yeah. That's very, very good.
Mm-mm.
So Janet, can you share with us perhaps lastly what is your next direction or next move? You're gonna launch a book soon, is it like
Yes.
yes.
Sure.
Can
Yeah,
you
I'll be glad to. So inside this book, okay, not only do I share basically a framework to help young parents to kind of like kickstart their child's journey into reading by equipping them the basic skill, but this book is also suitable for those maybe they are already aware of those phonics skills. They can read, but there'll be like strategies on how to. This is what I call the 3 secret strategy: how to engage your child, how to enrich your child's learning, and how to basically at the end of it enlighten your child to become a child who loves reading and learning. So this to me is the most powerful gift you can give to your children as a parent, or even for that matter as an educator, an early childhood educator. I think this is very powerful. Even if you want to apply it as a teacher in the primary school or secondary school, I think it's across the board. Every learner needs to be engaged, enriched, and enlightened. Yeah.
Wow. The 3 E's that Janet have: enrich, engage
first, then enrich.
Reach.
Yeah.
And then before
through
we
this
get
process, it becomes enlightened.
enlightened.
Yeah. So I also share a little bit about my own personal view, my values on basically this society, on the paper chase mindset. What kind of stress it has created for the parents, for the child, even for myself. I grew up in that kind of setting where I drive myself very hard to perform. Because I want to be acknowledged by my parents. So I can really feel what the kids are feeling right now. When the parents say, what? You only get 98 out of 100. That kind of feeling is so sad, because I went through that myself. When I didn't do well, my mother will scream until the whole neighborhood can hear, and you feel like, there's nowhere to hide, kind of thing. So my heart aches for children who has to go through the same journey that I went through. So, and then I realized that some mindsets have to change. It doesn't mean that, like in my case, doesn't mean that I stopped being a tiger mom. I stopped drilling my son. And then, of course, I say I close 2 eyes. But the second part is I want to share the joy with all of you that, yes, it takes a long period to undo all the anxiety that I've caused in my son, all the stress. Even though I stopped doing it, but it took another like 9 years.
Wow.
For him to finally really shed all the fears of exams and all that. And that is when my son really blossomed. And he started to become a dean lister. He started to get, all sorts of scholarship. And you can see that he's very self-driven, very independent. And that's what I feel that most parents want
Yes.
to see. I don't want to be like, when my son is in university, I still have to decide for my son, hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to study? What internship you want? You know, that kind of thing. Wow, I think then parenting would be a very tough journey for most people.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So when I see this kind of transformation in my own child, and then I realize, and of course I look around my ecology and see those other nieces and nephews and friends' children. And then I realized that, okay, something is right about this mindset of not going into the rat race, paper chase, but letting go, but supporting your child in some other ways. So in this book, I try to share this kind of values, this kind of tips and strategy that I think parents can. It's a choice. It's clearly a choice. Like we decided whether you want a scholar or you want a son, right? So it's a choice that you have to make as a parent or even as a teacher. And once you make that choice, you trust the entire process, and then you will see the miracle happening. It may not be immediate, So the key thing is about education is not something, if you think I want to pay $200 or $500 to a tutor and overnight I want to see from D's to A's, but I can tell you, yes, maybe the tutor can achieve that. But what is the impact on your child as he grow up?
Yeah.
Are you able to achieve that nice a boy or girl who's so caring, so connected with you? Or are you just having a child who is very good at studying, but totally loss of EQ, a lack of EQ, and totally disconnected from you, such that when he's older, he doesn't even want to spend time with you, doesn't even want to talk to you. So it's really a choice.
Wow. I think, Janet, thank you for sharing this. I think you are really on an important mission to educate more people, especially more parents on this. I can really understand your path. I heard from one mentor who said that why must a student study hard? Okay, we always talk about work hard, study hard. Why not? Why can't they study in joy? Right, work with joy. So that's what you brought up here today. Joy in learning, joy, open up the mindset. So one last question for you, Janet, before we go, something for your audience. What is one thing that you like your audience to know about yourself? It could be like you love to cook, besides you love to teach. What's one thing that probably the audience can learn about? Yeah.
Well, actually, I love to learn.
Wow, still back to learning.
I love to learn. Seriously, my life motto is to live to learn. So maybe you can call me a course junkie. Yeah. So I really live to learn because
learner.
Yeah, it's a learner. I'm a lifelong learner. It's like at my age, 50 something already. At 40 something, I still go and pursue a master's. All my cohort, so much younger, Yeah, then I still spend my time learning about multimedia, how to shoot video.
Investment, right? You also learn about
I know. You got that? Yeah, I learned about investing as well, how to do option investing.
Wow.
Yeah, and also computer stuff technology. When I was working for 2 years as a researcher, I grabbed every opportunity that NTU has to learn about any technology thing, because I feel that, in order to connect with the young people, I also need to be on the same wavelength.
Wow.
Can you imagine I'm a tech dinosaur, and then after that they tell me, hey, teacher, you know what, Roblox and all that, what is that? Then how to connect? Because it always bring me back to the time where I try to connect with my son through Power Rangers to Pokemon. If I don't get myself involved, then I can never be on the same wavelength as my child. And then how then can you really connect? And then when you connect with your child, then your child will know that, hey, this mommy really is a genuinely interested in me, not just in my results, in my academics, So among my children now that I'm working with, I also try to go down to that level. That lingo, so that they really feel that, hey, this teacher is unique. This teacher really cares about me.
Yes. And that is very, very important. Yeah.
Mm.
Nowadays.
Yeah,
Wow,
so
Janet.
I never
Yeah.
stop learning. You ask me
Wow.
LOL dolls, Paw Patrol. Wow, I know every of this. Then my
Oh,
friend,
yeah.
why are you so childish?
But we can tell from your energy that you
Mhm.
you still have that for the child, and you always have time for the children, right? Have time with them. That's why when you rub energy with them, you get back to you, right? So now you sound very passionate. Wow, so passionate for what you are learning and teaching. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So
yes,
parents out there, there's a plus point, or educators out there, there's a plus point, when
yes,
you
correct.
are really so connected with the children, you bring yourself down to their level, and
Yes,
the advantage, the benefit that you get, actually the bonus is that
yeah,
you also become more useful.
yes, that is
No
true.
need, no
Correct.
need to take
Wow.
elixir lah.
Wow, Janet, there's so much things to learn from you and have this conversation. Probably we're gonna have a part 2 for this.
Hey, my pleasure, my
So
pleasure.
right now we are on behalf of your audience. I'm gonna thank you for this connecting conversation. Yes, more people and more parents need to hear what you have, and do let us know when is your book going to be on sale or launch. Probably we can put the link below for them to click it. And if not, then we will see you in our next episode again. So
Yeah.
is there anything last thing that you want your audience to take back besides the 3 E's? One
To
last
me,
thing.
I feel that as a parent, the focus should be on your child, on your child's interest, not so much of what I feel is good for my child.
Wow.
This is something that is very difficult to manage. I tell you, as an adult, it's so difficult because we feel that, I eat salt more than what more than you eat rice, right? We always say, yeah. So we tend to put in our value system, our judgment. So as a result, we kind of like suppress or ignore the children's desire, the natural spontaneity in learning and interest. So for me, it's really very much about understanding your own child, what your child likes, and then from there you can weave in. It's very easy. Once you capture their interest, you can weave in the learning. And I tell you, the child doesn't know. The best part is he doesn't know. He still think that he's having fun with you, Actually, through having fun, he or she learns a lot more things that he may not be able to learn under normal circumstances if you pack it into a drill, teach and drill kind of syllabus. Yeah. So parents have faith, even if your child doesn't score well, top, like my son, for the years that I let go. I close my eyes. I really, my heart also sank in a bit, So honestly, I'll be very honest, the heart sank when you see the grades. But it is the early years. It was only in P3 all the way to secondary. Your child will still pass, don't worry. Then it was then later when he totally dispel all the fears, and that's where he can really soar. And then it's like you will say that, wow, you really can see that you really become parenting becomes so easy. You don't have to keep